The Pyxis has shipped. Initial reviews are coming through.
Yep.
And here is something that I know that we have kind of said, but I think Blackmagic has confirmed, has unconfirmed, is the sensor has been tweaked. The settings have been tweaked. It is just not a rehouse 6K. And so after looking at Armando's video and after looking at some of the foreigners' videos, I will say it looks beautiful. The image and Blackmagic image has always looked beautiful, but I do think that it's worth having a second look at as a camera.
Yeah, I see. Like for me, I was afraid that it was just a rehouse 6K. Full transparency. I thought it was just going to be a rehouse 6K, nothing new, nothing special. But it's nice to see that they have tweaked it, that it is a little bit better. And I'll be honest, like the monitor for me is what changed the camera. Like I feel like the usability of the camera is better. And if they also improve the image, then, you know, it's a win-win for all the Blackmagic shooters out there.
Dude, Condor Blue's cage for it really makes it into a, like, it can maybe not do all camera, but like it seems like you can rig it up to the absolute max and it's perfect run and gun. Like it looks like they really thought through that cage watching Armando's video. And so with that being said,
well, they have had dang near 6 months since seriously. The camera has not shipped.
Seriously, so much time to think through how to make this thing the most functional thing possible. But anyways, with that, all that being said, okay, monitor, tweaked color science, all of that sort of deal. Brandon, are you talking or are you buying?
Oh, I'm just talking. I'm just talking. Look, yeah. I'm not gonna say that the Pyxis isn't a great camera. I think it can be one of the best cameras for that price point. And rightfully, Blackmagic should be very proud of that camera.
Yes.
But I am gonna reserve judgment and definitely gonna reserve purchasing until I can shoot with it myself. And what I'm really interested to see is how does it stand up against the OG Komodo?
Yes.
Because what's the Pyxis go for?
The Pyxis is $299.5.
$2,995.
Basically $3,000.
So $3,000, you're getting 6K.
Up to 36 frames per second.
30,
open gate.
So I think for the Cam Mackies of the world, you know, your open gate fan people, I think that's going to be a big selling feature. I think the price of it is also going to be a huge selling feature. But where I am going to reserve judgment is I think that I want maybe a little bit more before I'm going to buy. And that's not to say that this camera's like bad by any means. I mean, for the price point, I think it's phenomenal. I don't think anything image-wise maybe comes close to it.
Yeah.
But I would rather pay maybe an extra $1,000 and get built-in NDs.
I
don't even think it would cost that much. Because
I need to pull up the new price of the C70. Gosh, that's so hard. The C70, this is so hard, especially because they dropped the price of it being $4,500. It's $1,500 more.
Yeah.
But you have built-in NDs. You have RAW, 12-bit, and you got those Canon colors. I know y'all were looking on the stream today and being like, man, y'all look so pretty.
Oh my gosh.
Y'all look so pretty.
Maybe that's why I was lagging.
Nah. We can blame that on somebody else. Let's start on the line. Apple. We'll stop there. No hate.
I'm going to go to the chat real quick because I just want to see. Colton did agree. He says that Colton said that his build, I guess he's talking about Armando's.
Yeah.
Is pretty good.
Yeah.
And a couple other people are saying that. Alex says that the Pyxis is a dope camera. Don't sleep. Mount Zion says it was a sexy Pyxis rig.
Dude, I was thinking that in my brain, and then there were so many comments that were like, "This rig is sexy."
Dude, it was one of those things where, like, I mean, Ron is saying it here, Marani is saying it. It says like Condor Blue makes some of the best stuff out there, and then Condor Blue had their cage ready as early as June. Now, here's the thing that I don't know if everybody knows this about Condor Blue, but like They have had the Pyxis rig done for a minute, but they've been tweaking it constantly.
Oh, that's dope.
Like they had it at Cine Gear, and they were like, "Hey, look at our rig. Tell us what you think." And so, like, not only were they like ahead of the curve, obviously, because they had a 3D print of the Pyxis there, and then they had 3D parts that they had made for their cage before they actually got it machined and everything. But they were getting feedback from filmmakers at these different conventions.
Yeah.
I don't like, obviously they didn't have it at NAB, but they were already looking at NAB from the announcement. And then immediately at Cine Gear, they were getting feedback from filmmakers, and like they had their cage there for you to actually test, see, and kind of make some adjustments to. And even just from what I saw, like the little bits from Armando's, because I didn't watch his full video yet, but like even just the little bits I saw from some of the content that I saw you looking at, it looked like they had made some more adjustments. And then based off what you told me about like the top plate being able to be the bottom and vice versa, that seems like that was even different since Cine Gear.
Now, we got a new Yusuf on the chat today. I'm just playing. Mount Zion.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to. I'm not even gonna say I'm gonna disagree with you. I think because he said in one of his comments that the Pyxis has a better form factor than the C70, and I think it just depends on what you're doing. Because to me, like, yes, the box style camera is the box style form is incredible, and you can mount it, you can rig it, you do all these sort of different things. But there is something about the C70 that all you got to do is take it out of the box, put a battery in it and an SD card, and you're done. That's all you have to do. And so I think it just depends on what you're shooting. But I will say, if you're into productions, Pyxis looks nice. But you ain't got no autofocus.
Oh my gosh.
You ain't got no autofocus.
For those of you guys who are new here, Jarrell is one of those Canon fan people who has to go back and make everything about Canon all the time. Stop sipping on their tears, bro.
He said he directly addressed the C70. I wasn't trying to say nothing about the C70.
You did bring up the C70 first. I'm gonna say that.
What did I say?
When we said that when I was talking about comparables and I was looking at the price, you said that the C70 comparative to this camera. So you brought it up
because you
first.
said you wanted internal NDs.
I do want internal NDs.
And the cheapest internal NDs.
You took it to Canon, bro. You did it again.
No, not to be fair. I guess you could get the 6K Pro. Does that have Blackmagic? Blackmagic 6K Pro has. Dude, did we just get a thumbs down?
Oh, yeah. We started the show with a thumbs down, bro. And we just got another one. That's because they know you're after them. Mount Zion. He's back at you, bro.
Yeah, he's back at me. Okay, Yusuf, calm down.
He says we don't need no autofocus. Okay.
The world would say differently.
Look, I will say I agree that yes, I think the Blackmagic could benefit from autofocus. I'm not saying that it needs it, but if they charged an extra $1,000, so they took it from $3,000 to $4,000, they put a really good autofocus system in there, built-in NDs, that could be the camera that takes down most other cameras out today. Just because of what you're still getting for such an amazing price. I think the form factor, as someone who's like, we just showed y'all the production that we're on.
Yeah.
We have cameras mounted upside down. We've got projects. We're working with the LED wall and all these things that we literally are doing right now. I need cameras that are the most versatile.
Yes.
Now, you say it is nice to have the C70 and take it out of the bag and just be able to go, which I think if you're doing like run and gun, doc style stuff, 100%. That's a really great camera to run with. But I still think that built-in NDs on a Blackmagic would be a great addition.
If they can keep it below the price, because here's the deal. If you, it's so tough. Like you've probably worked with both to a certain extent, but B-roll, is B-roll significantly better than Canon RAW?
So I say that the workflow of B-roll is significantly easier than Canon RAW.
What's the last time you touched Canon RAW?
It's been a year.
Okay.
But the fact that you have...
Because I'm exclusive Canon RAW, and while I will say it's not an MP4, my biggest irritation with Canon RAW, and I'm sure this is the same thing with Red, is you can't preview. Like outside of in the camera you can preview, and outside of being in your NLE, you can preview the file, but like when I pull it up, if I want to see, oh, was this a part of this project? And I hit spacebar, it shows up with nothing. I have to like import it in.
So with Red, you actually download the Red player, and then you can just
I
click
never
on
tried
your
to do
video.
that.
You're gonna need to. I mean, you better you better learn, Jarrell.
Yeah, but
You gonna learn today.
I'm just gonna stick it in the NLE now.
I mean, you could, but if
Yeah.
you're just trying to like check your files and
Yeah.
look through a folder, like I mean, on the day of editing, yeah, you're gonna put it in your NLE.
Yeah.
But when you're like going back through hard drives like weeks later,
Yeah.
you're gonna go.
That is true.
into
You don't
the Red
want to
player.
launch a whole project.
Exactly. So you're gonna learn. It's all right. But I do think that B-Raw is easier than Canon Raw to work with. I don't know if I have tested a solid Canon Raw camera like a C80 or even your C70 now with 12-bit RAW. I don't know if I've tested that side by side with B-Raw. Maybe somebody in the chat has and they can give us some insight. But like, I personally think that B-Raw is easier to use, especially and exclusively in DaVinci Resolve, which if you are a Blackmagic shooter, 9 times out of 10, maybe 7 times out of 10, you are probably
Get that free.
Resolve.
Get that free.
I mean, you're getting it for free,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get the best use case out of it. So that's just been my experience. But you know, one dude.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I don't like Blackmagic. I used to shoot on Blackmagic like 10 years ago. Yeah, so it's been a while. I have no hate towards the camera. I think it's a great camera. I do see lots of people saying stuff about autofocus. I think here's the problem. Is I think that people, I want to acknowledge, even for us outside of the stream, I'm never putting on eye autofocus and leaving it on. Like, that's not how I particularly use autofocus, and I'm just trusting the camera to keep the person in focus.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, it'll be a situation, especially like when critical focus is needed, I will use autofocus to gain focus, turn it off, and then maintain distance. Or we'll use it for like maybe like a very difficult tracking shot, but like not like always on all the time. And so I think even for on the stream when we're in the office, we'll use autofocus to initially capture focus and then turn it off. And so
you can do that in
helpful.
Blackmagic though.
Yeah.
You have spot.
that's
you
dope.
have spot autofocus. No,
I'm talking about more about the people in here that are like autofocus is for trash people or whatever.
I don't think anybody said autofocus is
no,
for
this
trash
man
people.
said I'm not gonna name him, but he was like our central ENT was like, on a real film set, you'd be fired.
I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
For sure.
But I will say I like having autofocus in cameras, even if you don't need them.
Yeah.
Right? So like I don't need autofocus today for this project that we're working on. Like we have a first AC who's gonna be running on one, the other camera's gonna be locked focus. So like we don't need a autofocus. However, when I am running gunning, if I do want to capture quick autofocus or if I need to follow someone, it is a nice to have.
Yeah.
It is one of the reasons why I will not shoot on a Red, because if I'm doing a project and I can use whatever camera I want, right? Why did my feed cut out?
Hold on.
I'll let you take a look at that. That's your Canon's going to work there. All right, so if you enjoyed this clip, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button because we would love for you to join the community. Here, we're just a bunch of nerds who love camera gear and love talking about it every single week, which we do live at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that and you don't miss any of the other clips.